If you've ever worked in an office, or honestly anywhere, you've probably come across what I like to call the office martyr. You know who I'm talking about. The person who stays late, volunteers for every extra task, and of course makes sure everyone knows just how hard they're working. But here is the catch. It's not really about the work. It's about making sure everyone sees just how much they're sacrificing for the team. So how do you deal with a martyr in the workplace?
Manners on the go.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Manners on the Go. If you've ever worked in an office, or honestly anywhere, you've probably come across what I like to call the office martyr. You know who I'm talking about. The person who stays late, volunteers for every extra task, and of course makes sure everyone knows just how hard they're working. Now, don't get me wrong, hard work and dedication are great. We love those qualities. But with the office martyr, there's something a little different going on. It's not just about getting the job done. It's about seeking validation, sympathy, and sometimes a little bit of attention. So what makes someone an office martyr? Well, it often comes down to feeling undervalued or insecure. These are people who don't have a strong sense of confidence in their abilities, so they overcompensate by taking more and more work, even when it's not necessary. You might notice this person always volunteering for tasks, staying late when they don't really need to, or even taking on responsibilities that belong to someone else. And sure, on the surface, it looks like they're being helpful, but here is the catch. It's not really about the work. It's about making sure everyone sees just how much they're sacrificing for the team. Now you might be thinking, what's the harm? After all, if they're doing the work, shouldn't we just let them be? Well, not exactly. The office martyr's behavior can actually create a pretty toxic environment. For one, it can lead to guilt tripping. You know what I mean? Making everyone else feel bad for not doing as much as them. And let's be real here, no one likes to feel guilt tripped, especially at work. It can make colleagues uncomfortable and over time creates resentment. People start feeling like they can't leave the office on time without being judged, or like they're not pulling their weight, even though they're doing just fine. Plus, martyrdom often leads to inefficiency. Instead of delegating tasks or asking for help, the martyr hoards work. They think they're being a hero by taking it all on themselves. But in reality, they're slowing things down because no one person can do it all. This can lead to burnout, not just for them, but for the whole team. So how do you deal with a martyr in the workplace? First, you have to recognize that this behavior is a form of manipulation. Now, I'm not saying they're doing it maliciously. Most of the time, it's subconscious, but that doesn't make it any less toxic. Once you've identified the behavior, the key is not to let it affect you emotionally. For example, when the martyr starts complaining about how much work they have, don't jump in with sympathy right away. Instead, ask them directly, what do you need help with? This flips the conversation and forces them to either admit they don't need help or to delegate, something they're often reluctant to do. And here is another tip. Set boundaries. Don't take the bait when they respond with things like, oh, it's fine, I'll just do it myself. That's classic martyr behavior. Instead, be assertive. Say something like, if you're feeling overwhelmed, let's find a way to share the load. It's important to stay firm but kind. Another thing to keep in mind is communication. Be clear when delegating tasks or giving feedback. Make sure they understand that no one expects them to carry the weight of the entire office. Remember, setting clear boundaries is essential. And of course, navigating this kind of behavior can be tricky. It's not always easy to confront someone who is playing the martyr, especially if they're good at making you feel guilty or even suggesting that they take a step back. But trust me, with a little patience and the right approach, you can diffuse the situation. And look, if you're sitting there thinking, oh no, I might be the office martyr, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. The first step is recognizing your behavior. Ask yourself, am I doing this for the team? Or I'm doing this for attention? Once you have that awareness, you can start making changes. So to wrap things up, martyrdom in the workplace can be pretty damaging for both the person doing it and everyone around them. But with strategies like setting boundaries and staying assertive, you can navigate these situations without letting them spiral out of control. Alright, that's it for today's episode. So until next time, keep your manners sharp and your confidence even sharper. I'm Tosin Babasoya Craig, and this is Manners on the Go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you again soon. Goodbye.
Manners on the go.